wasn't. I did really badly. I swear, I think I got like 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4 is a good grade.
No, so Wayne?
Yes.
His grade was 258.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
So when I compare to all my boyfriends, I did super bad. I'm like
how many boyfriends is that? Okay, let's not do it in there. Hi, I'm JK.
And I'm Jade Rasif. Welcome to the Situation Report,
where we keep you informed one situation at a time. And today's situation, we're all involved in this. It's a rite of passage. PSLE, which stands for... Okay, hold on.
Primary School Leaving Examination.
Yes. But sometimes it's so hard you don't feel like leaving primary school. They've changed the system in 2021. There's some new...
So now there's like a banding system. So instead, when we used to take it, you used to get a score of 300.
Yes, it was like 4 subjects, and then I don't know how to do divide by 3,
something, and then magically you get like a number.
Your number very good for sure.
No, it wasn't. I did really badly. No, I swear, I think I got like 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4 is a good grade. Hey, that's a good.
No, that's not. Really?
Yeah, I only got 200.
I only needed 200 because I just wanted to go to like CHIJ.
But 2, 3, 4 is a good grade.
That's not a good grade. Everyone around me was getting like such good grades.
Okay. 2, 3, 4 was like I think the higher than the highest guy in my class.
No way.
Yeah.
So, So Wayne?
Yes.
His grade was 258.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. So when I compare to all my boyfriends, I did super bad. I'm like
how many boyfriends is that? Okay, let's not do it in there.
Okay.
So we focus on PSLE because parents might not understand the grading systems. I don't understand the grading systems, to be honest, but someone does. We have with us a former primary school teacher, right now director of curriculum at English Tuition Centre, Lil But Mighty, Lily Chew.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Some fun facts about her: 6 outlets in Singapore, and also 4 children.
That's right.
Can I ask how old is your oldest?
My eldest is 10 this year.
So she's got to do this 4 times.
4 times
PSLE.
over.
Oh my goodness. So we're going to ask you the big questions.
Yes. Can you please explain how it works and how it's different from the old system?
So thank you for having me here today.
Yes.
And let me just try and fill it in. So in the previous system, which I think all of us here have gone through, basically our PSLE score is computed based on a T-score, an aggregate score. And it's over 300. And from there, we will actually know which school we can go to for secondary. So in 2021, this has been changed. So now instead of a T-score and aggregate score, we actually have something called achievement levels. So this is also known as AL. So it's a little bit similar to perhaps like the O-level system, where you have a range of scores mapped to each of these achievement level bands. Yeah. So from 1 to 8, 1 would actually be like for a range of 91 to 100, and then for all the way to achievement level 8.
So you would want, ideally, parents would be aiming for their kids to get a 4.
That's right.
Which would be 4 A's. Which would be...
So we don't call it A's anymore. Instead, we'll call it 4 AL1s. So the overall score, the best score that the child can attain is basically a 4. And then, of course, the score that is the largest number would be 32. Because if they achieve AL8 for all 4 subjects, then it will be 32. AL6 is the band where it's like a 20 marks range.
Right.
And then it blurs the line between the pass and the fail. Yeah. And then after that, you have AL5, which is a 10-mark jump. And then AL4 will be the point where you have 75 marks and above.
Oh.
So if you map it with the previous PSLE system, then our A score, grade A, would actually be the current AL4, if you map it that way.
Holy smokes! Then there's still 3, 2, 1.
Yes. So what has changed is that from AL4 all the way to AL1 is like a 5-mark jump. So this, in a way, actually works well for, in my view, it works well for children who are really striving to, get a better score in terms of pushing their marks. But they kind of get the encouragement because every 5 months you can really see a jump. In the past, 75 to 91, 75, I made it to 80, I made it to 85, but I'm still there, in the A grade. So, I guess it really depends on how you want to see it, but then from the way I see it, I do feel children who are really motivated, they have really worked so hard, they actually, we can really see how the kids are so pleased with themselves when they say that, oh, no, I'm now at an AL3 because I've moved on. And yeah, I think I can try and strive for the AL2 next.
I like it a lot because I was one of those students that's really bad at mathematics.
Oh, but when you do the DJing, you gotta count the beats. That's math, huh?
That's not math.
Is that not math?
No, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can count to 4. I can count to 4.
Then you see how long the song's gonna end.
So much pain over the years just studying for maths when I always knew that I was always going to get a B. Just study, B. Study.
B not bad, no?
Yeah, B is a
Yeah, B is
pretty
good, isn't it?
grade.
That's why I go for O levels.
B's for bad.
No, that's not true.
Is the Asian parent coming
A
out?
is for acceptable.
Yes. Okay, so
No, but at the end I got A too. Just to clarify, by the end my A levels still got A.
that's why her beats always on sync.
So all the hard work pay off though.
So how has this changed? Changed the PSLE landscape?
When we had the T-score, the aggregate score, the idea is always every mark counts, right? Because we do not know an A grade, an A star, a B in the past, what it really stands for. Actually, no one really knows. There's like a rough idea that is like 91 and above, but you know, if you look at it, also there's been discussion that is really based on how everybody else is doing. So there's always this element of comparison between the students, and how they do is really based on how their peers have done. However, with the new PSLE system, the idea is that, you know, because it's over a range of marks, right, for each of these achievement levels, it also means that we are really trying to recognize each child for their current achievement as well as for their growth that they have demonstrated. In the previous system, I think a pass or fail grade is very salient when you look at the examination, the result slip at the end of the day. Because in the past, a D grade actually will show that the child technically did not pass the grade, the paper, because our understanding is a D grade is like below 50. However, in the new system, the AL6 grade, this level, actually is over a span of 20 marks. So it actually goes all the way from 45 to 64.
Oh.
Yes. So because of that, I think the lines between a fail and a pass has been blurred. And I would feel for children who are struggling but really still doing their best in the standard level subjects, it actually is something that's pretty encouraging to them. I do see that there are some parents who, they do feel that, since it is over a band now, right, a range, that perhaps I can help my child to see which are the different subjects that perhaps, they can have a higher chance to improve within this period of time that we have before the PSLE.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this. So how to help my child do well in the new system? So 3 different scenarios. The first scenario, my child is weak in one subject, AL5-6, but strong in 3. How do I get him or her to get the best overall AL?
Firstly, I think the idea of consistent practice is always important for any subject that you're trying to work on, whether you're already strong in the subject or whether it's a subject that you're struggling in.
Use it or lose it.
And then number 2, I think to work on your strength, because that's the one which you know you're good at and it's going to boost your confidence. The third part would probably be like expectations wise, to know what is it that you're trying to aim for. So don't neglect the other 3 subjects which are strong, for sure. Because if your aim is really trying to get an overall score that is, to pull it up as high as you can, then you definitely wouldn't want to neglect the other 3. But then for the weaker subject, once you have identified maybe which is the particular component that you're stronger in, then we'll go in from there, work on those first, be able to secure as many of the marks in that particular component.
Now we turn the tables. My child is strong in one subject, but weak in the other 3.
Struggling in the other 3.
Struggling, sorry. Struggling. What can we do?
Definitely the subject that the child is strong in, continue to work on it, right? Because we still want it to, come out as the subject that can help to pull the grades up. But for the other 3, we may say that 3 subjects the child is struggling in. But if I have 2 subjects which are at AL6 and then 1 is at AL5, numbers, so AL5 will be the 10-mark jump, right, to the next grade. Then I'll feel perhaps we can actually start looking at the AL5 and just give it a little bit more focus first, because that one probably, because the band is a bit narrower.
I think she should have a new tuition center for parents strategy for PSLE. Because she got all the strategies. All right, third scenario.
So my child is average in all 4 subjects. How can I maximize his grade?
So average in all 4 subjects, I think the first thing to do though is really to have an overview examination of how the child has been doing, like in terms of study habits, whether in terms of how the child has been learning. Could it also be perhaps a learning disposition thing that we are trying to work at? And I think that's where the communication really comes in. There's always the school teachers that you can establish communication with, right, to better understand how the child is doing. And I believe that the teachers in school, they do want to help. They do want the best outcome for the child. And being able to partner them along the way, it really will help with the situation and help with the child.
So, can we ask, do you see like stress in the children? What are some signs for us to look out for stress in our kids?
I think there are a few areas that we can start looking at. So first one will probably be physical stress. So if you see that there are changes happening in your child's behavior, right? Maybe in terms of a loss of appetite, or maybe for this child, it just seems to be a bit more like the sleeping hours and all has been disrupted, or having frequent stomach aches even. Secondly, of course, emotionally, stress is also where the signs are quite clear. So if the child is becoming more withdrawn, right? Used to be very bubbly, but now, is like pulling himself or herself back from everyone. And then the last one will probably be even a change in terms of attitude towards like how they're studying. The results might have dropped drastically when all along they have been performing pretty well. So just check. If they say they are okay, that's good, but at least let them know that if they're not, it's okay to not be okay in that sense, and that we are here to support them.
So this one involves students in your care. Have you seen any students in your care that have become extremely stressed out? Like, okay, sorry, that's my acting.
It's good. I felt the stress.
Jack Neo, you're watching. Okay, so have you seen any students in your care extremely stressed out?
So, there's one particular student I recall quite vividly. So, I recall having him come to class one day and then his voice was all hoarse because, and I was saying, what happened to you? Are you unwell? And he actually told me that, he just came back from this motivational camp and they were cheering non-stop for 2 days. The thing is about, I think maybe 1 month down the road though, the mom suddenly said that unfortunately he has to start pulling him out. So apparently because he was so stressed, subconsciously he actually has been pulling out his hair. But the good news is that, so we still maintain contact because of course we're concerned about how the child, was after the incident. And that year the child did very well. But if anything, it probably was a bit of a shock and a wake-up call to a certain extent, that even without all this, actually the child was able to still push towards this goal that he had set for himself.
Well done. If you're watching, well done to the young child right there.
And a mom.
Yeah, and the mom too.
To recognize like my child needs a break.
Speaking of moms, Mama 4 right here, everybody.
Yes.
So you have a child who is going to be entering this PSLE gauntlet in 2 years.
Yes.
Oh, actually less than 1.5 years' time.
Oh, yes.
Right? Oh my goodness. So how have you been preparing? Like, have you been sending him to tuition classes? And motivational camps?
He attends classes with us because, we run English tuition classes anyway. And I think that, since we're running it, it's good for him to also be, attending the classes and all. On top of that, yes, he has Chinese tuition. My husband and I, we discussed and we feel that, if this is something that will help the children to be structured in their learning, then let's do it. I think what we have is quite balanced. And I think perhaps it's also because I've seen really a number of kids and their parents as they journey towards the PSLE and all. So it can get really stressful. I can see the different personalities and, how the relationships sometimes also get affected. So that is always something that is that I prioritize. That, to remind myself, ultimately the PSLE or any examination, it is a checkpoint, right? It is one chapter, but the relationship with my children, it really is lifelong. So I wouldn't want to sacrifice that for one examination, and their self-worth is really not just based on their one examination.
With that though, thank you so much for joining us. That's all the time we
you.
have for the show today. Lily Chew, co-founder and director of curriculum at English Tuition Centre, Lil But Mighty. Thank you very much, Lily Chew. And also, I've learned so much today, by the way, from the AL1 to the AL8.
Thank you so much, because I feel like it's so confusing. So to have someone sit down and provide you with this kind of clarity is, we are so lucky
as
good. Parents.
We will have a chat later to, find out
We
more.
always debrief. We'll be like, and our debrief will be like, oh my god, it's gonna be so stressful.
Very stressed, but it's my wife's stress, not mine. To the parents watching, I hope you've understood PSLE banding system a little bit better. But to the children out there, remember, life is bigger than PSLE. There's also O levels. Hey, no, joking. But there's a lot of things you can do outside. It's not, there's a line they always say: your grade does not define you.
And that wraps up today's episode of the Situation Report.
where we keep you informed one situation at a time. My name is JK.
And I'm Jade Rasif. Catch you in next episode.